Okay, everyone, just me, Jeff Donnelly, JP Donnelly, Instagram, JP Donnelly, all over the place, So, this is like a little bit of a pregame, we can say. Okay, first off, you know, just so you know, I have some background or whatever, and what we're talking about is I hold degrees in psychology, I hold degrees in criminal justice. I worked in the system before. I've been fighting corruption for way, way too long. So I understand how governmental corruption works in Massachusetts, especially. Also, I'm the author of Emotion and Political Repression, which is a book detailing the corruption I faced when I was 25 years old, trying to run for Congress in Massachusetts. Okay. Also, what you need to know about the book, too, is at one point in time, the Springfield police found me suitable for a Massachusetts firearm license, while at the same time refusing to renew my business license to sell the book I wrote, Exposing Corruption. That right there says a lot about the book. Okay, so what we're getting into today. Aiden Kearney versus Meredith O'Neill. Basically, Turtleboy against his ex-girlfriend. Okay, so if you like Turtleboy, if you love Turtleboy, if you're a follower of Turtleboy, especially if you're his goddamn attorneys, just tell him to stop posting prior to hearings. Like, if you love this guy, if you care about him, tell him, do not post this shit that you're posting. It's not helping. It's helping her. Okay. Because remember something, I do understand that people fucking lie. A lot of people lie when they want to get their way. It's hard to say you're not harassing someone when you're doing videos about them. Like, okay, so I listened to, and I hate to say this because I listened to the restraining order hearing, the emergency one on Turtleboy's channel. So, yes, I'm getting this information from Turtleboy's channel, which I'm saying that he shouldn't be posting it, but I'm benefiting from him posting it because I'm listening to it and learning this information, which I'm glad that I learned it from listening to the emergency hearing and not just someone saying what was said during the hearing. I'll be honest, I used to be a Turtleboy supporter. Now, since what he did to this person who used to work, they used to work for his daughter, who was a minor at the time, I don't know. He's entertaining, but, it definitely showed that he's not a good person. But he is entertaining, and that's why people pay to listen to him, and that's also why people are furnishing the house he just bought. Hey, if you can make the money, all for it, enjoy the grift. But then again, you're risking life in prison, so, is the juice really worth the squeeze? Squeeze? I don't know, that's up to you individually. Okay, so, her emergency hearing, she was not saying that he was beating her, that he physically abused her. She didn't claim that at all, which is good. She did say that she was going to call the police and say that he hit her while he was outside her apartment, refusing to leave, making a ruckus. Okay. Did she need to say that? No, she didn't. All she had to do was call the police and have him physically removed, but she said what she did in order to get him to shut the fuck up and to actually leave, or to just shut the fuck up. And that, it worked. And anyone who says that, oh, he had no shoe, it's dude, the guy obviously hid his own shoe and hid his keys so he couldn't leave. Or he had his phone, he could have called an Uber, he could have called somebody he cared about, somebody he loved, and they could have picked him up. He didn't have to stay at her house. She told him to leave numerous times. Come on. He didn't want to leave. Okay. So, he's claiming, oh, well, she said that she was going to call the police. It's look. She said to shut him the fuck up, and it worked, all right? She didn't call the police. She didn't make false allegations that he physically abused her. She wasn't going to the judge saying that he physically abused her. What she was doing is she was saying like how he's using his program to attack her. Coercive behavior. That's what the judge says when the judge ruled. The judge, because Meredith said, like, oh, First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. The judge cut that shit off really quick by saying, no, like, coercive behavior, which is what Turtleboy has done. Turtleboy is using his platform to attack her. Just like a person would use a weapon, a physical weapon, he's using his platform. He's using a bunch of his followers to go after her. He's got a lot of followers that are very unstable people. So what does he do? He sits there and uses these unstable individuals to go after her. And if one of these unstable individuals, like Tom CPU or whoever, physically attacks her, as people are threatening to do, what happens then? Turtleboy goes on his show and says, this wasn't me, I didn't do it, I had nothing to do about it, they did this on their own. But no, when you're sitting there like causing a mob to go into like a frenzy, what that mob does is directly relation to you, which could also be called third-party contact, as in violation of a restraining order, which, no offense, but posting all of these videos about her after getting the restraining order also could be third-party contact and coercive behavior as well. If you have a lawyer, Turtleboy's lawyer should have told him, do not post anything at all about her. Do not try to get a mob to show up to court, because that is coercive behavior. Like, do not have people attack this woman. Tell your flying monkeys, tell your supporters to back off, to, let this be, private, that this isn't public. That's what you should have done. It's too late right now because everything's already been done and everything's already in the works. The hearing is like in a couple hours. So, if he gets that female judge who heard the emergency order, she's not going to, dismiss it. If he gets another judge, I guess he's got a chance for it to get dismissed. But after all this posting he's done, it's very highly unlikely. Then he filed one against her. Okay. We really don't know what she said for the most part in this huge application that she did. But when she did go in there, she did actually have recordings of him threatening her and everything else. And, he did use his supporters to get her fired from her job, which is also under the coercive behaviors, getting someone fired. And you can't say he didn't get her fired or that he intended to, because he published where she worked, knowing full well that his supporters were going to pile on to her job and attack her job, because that's what they do. That's what he has them do. Okay, so what happens there, right? Then he applies for a restraining order against her. And he claims that he's afraid, he's frightened, and everything else. But when you look at what he's said in the past and all of these other restraining orders he's filed against people, he stated straight up that he does these in order as a form of retaliation. It's like if you file one against him, he's going to file one against you because he doesn't want to be a defendant. He doesn't want to be on the defense. He wants to be on the offense as well. That might be your game plan in these situations. If it is, hey, that's a good game plan to have, right? But once you start telling your supporters this, once you start publishing this, once you start talking about this, that this is your game plan, then it becomes an issue of retaliation. It's no longer, I'm afraid of her, because you're not afraid of her. You're sitting there lying to the court. And why do I say lying? Because you've stated on your own show that it's retaliation, that you're not afraid of these people. That right there tells you everything you need to know about this guy. And he's afraid of all of these women. He's afraid of this woman. He's afraid of that woman. He's physically afraid of all of these women. Are you kidding? And then he says he's not afraid of them. So what is it? Are you afraid of him? Are you not afraid of him? Are you that little of a man that you're afraid of a woman, and you're afraid of all your exes, every ex-girlfriend. Like, Lord help you. Like, hell, someone delivers a pizza at your house at 10 o'clock at night, and you call 911, and you call them up and you talk whatever you told the cops. You told them you were so afraid that you had the police pull over a pizza delivery guy for knocking on your door, ringing your doorbell at 10 o'clock at night. That's crazy right there. But hey, if you're that quick to call 911, like, Lord help you if you actually ever run into someone who actually is willing to get physical with you. Because there's a lot of crazy people out there, who, like, they're not going to just show up to your house to, deliver a pizza or whatever. They're going to show up to your house to actually physically hurt you. Like, I guess you're just lucky that you've been targeting, law-abiding individuals and, women and children. And you can't say no because that person that used to work for you, your employee who could have sued you for slandering her after, workplace issues because you were her boss. You kept on going after her through her minor daughter. What kind of man goes after a child, a teenage girl? Come on. And then you get mad that the teenage girl said something about your daughter. To you. Not to the public, not out there on a blog, not out there on a YouTube channel, but to you when she was telling you to leave her the fuck alone. Come on, man. You're a bully, plain and simple. It's sad. It really is. And by being a bully, I think you fucked with the wrong person with this ex-girlfriend of yours, Meredith, because she knows where the skeletons are buried. She knows how you operate. That's why she brought that's why she brought an attorney with her. That's why when your attorney tried to throw all of this other stuff in the other day, they're like, no. We need time to go through this. We need time to look at this. We're not being bamboozled with all of this other information being thrown in here into the mix. We need to come back because he's added all this of this other stuff in here. We need time to disprove these allegations. If she didn't have a lawyer, your lawyer would have steamrolled her, plain and simple. But because it's Monday, later on today, there's a very good chance that the information is going to be counteracted. Do I know for sure? No. But is it likely? Very much so. Okay. So when you look at this situation, right, and everything else involved in it, right? Damn, man. You're looking at, what, life in prison right now for witness intimidation? You have a lot of information on Karen Reed. You want Karen Reed to be a co-defendant of yours, which makes all the sense in the world. Why you'd want everything between you and Karen Reed public. That way, Karen Reed and her attorneys became co-defendants with you, and you have more resources for the trial and more of a chance to get off. Makes perfect sense. But how you released it, how it was released, now you're blaming Meredith for releasing it and everything else. It's like, she wasn't your attorney. There's no client privilege with a woman that you're dating. There's no marital, spousal privilege with a person that you're dating. It's just a relationship. You say she was a paralegal. She's not a paralegal. She's just an individual who you're in a romantic relationship with, who is a friend of yours, who is a supporter of yours, who you're having help you out, who you provided this information to. Course of behavior, you got her fired, all right? But the problem that you have with this individual is, like you said before, the breakup ended. She's intelligent. And she's a great person, all this other shit that you were saying. Now she's the scum of the earth, okay. Now that you're not with her anymore. But you've pushed this woman to her breaking point. You never put someone in a corner that they have no way out of. You pushed her into a corner where she's got no way out of. She applied for the restraining order. She applied for violation of the restraining order. There's a good chance that she'll apply for charges of criminal harassment against you, because the charge of criminal harassment in your case is very easy to be proven. Just look up Mass General Law, criminal harassment, and you'll see. But you're facing life in prison for the witness intimidation charges. Now you're going to be facing more charges for violation of a restraining order. And she's going to go down there, and she can actually file against you each video and each post you've done, because third-party contact. You actually hoping that people will contact her and that she'll see this stuff. And by you posting it on these social media networks, knowing that people share, this person shares, this person comments, which means that you know that what you're saying about her and what you're saying to her is going to get to her, because your reach is as it is. And you know that it's directed at her, and you know that people are going to forward it to her, people are going to comment on it, people are going to tag her with it, people are going to shuffle it up and comment and tag her. So you know that no matter what you're doing, you're going to be harassing this woman by mentioning her. You know it. You're not a stupid person. But your lawyers need to actually sit there and talk to you. They need to sit you down and say, stop doing this. I know you're making money off of this. I know that this is money. But please, just stop doing this. If your lawyers care more than how much money they're making, if your fans care more than just being entertained by this small aspect of your life, pick up another case. I'm not even saying my case, but just pick up any other case. Pick up another case involving governmental corruption. Pick up another case about shit. Even a guilty defendant, pick up a case on that. Pick up another case and focus your energy into that other case. Not by harassing them, but focus your energy into expanding what you have. Expanding the reach that you have, the true crime aspect, if that's what you're going into now. Like the Kelsey Fitzsimmons issue. That was good that you expanded into that case. Do I believe that she's guilty of sin? Yes. Why? Yeah, she was found not guilty, but she also had the former Massachusetts Attorney General representing her. Dealing and wheeling and dealing and shit like that, who ran for a governor and who ran for the United States Senate, all right? So yeah, your lawyer may have, done most of the talking, but when you got the former Massachusetts AG, former governors, candidate for the Democrats, and a big wig in the Democrat Party, and these judges all want to get promoted to higher offices. Yeah, it's all about one hand washes the other, because think about the whole Kelsey situation. Either one of two things happened. Either she tried to put the gun to her head, or she aimed at a fellow police officer. Well, and her former fiancé was in the house too. So let's just put it this way, right? If she put it to her own head, why would her former coworker shoot her? If anything, he would have just let her cap herself. It's more likely than not that she pointed at him and then got shot in return. Because if, realistically, if it would have been to her head and he shot her, he would have shot her more than once. And she wouldn't have made it to the hospital to be charged. That's not how it goes down when a police officer is assassinating or shooting someone. The person usually doesn't make it, if they don't want him to make it. Her coworker obviously wanted her to make it. He obviously cared about her. And I hate to say it, but yeah, that was a miscarriage of justice right there. But then again, you're also the one who admitted that when you were charged with violation of the restraining order against your other ex, when you were hiding behind the bushes, you even admitted after being found not guilty by a judge. What did you admit? That you clearly violated the order. You admitted it. Why? Because you were within the distance between point A to point B of the door, knowing that she was coming out of that door. You know what the hell you were doing. But, I figure we'll see what happens today. They're in the restraining order hearing. Hopefully you post it. Not for you, but for me and for everyone else. Or hopefully someone else posts that. Hopefully someone live streams it, because honestly, I'd like to hear it while it's going on or immediately right after. because it's entertainment. Like, you write the blogs, I read the blogs. You post the videos, I watch the videos. Now, I don't know, like, I'm just, like, shooting shit right now, like, you know, like, filming these little film videos, because, I don't know. I figure, might as well get my views out there. Might as well get, like, you know, my opinions out there. Might as well shoot the shit with you guys. Hell, might as well try to get some views as well, get some followers and everything else. Like, hopefully, because with me, what I'm all about is bringing awareness to corruption in Massachusetts. Corruption in Massachusetts. That's my goal. If I've got to piggyback off of you to bring some awareness to the corruption that I've been facing, then hell, I'll piggyback off of you. It's not that I don't like you, it's not that I hate you. Remember, I gave you advice before when you originally faced the charges. I gave you advice that basically not to be where they know you'll be, because when they come for you with a straight warrant for your arrest, they'll come in like the dead of night, early morning. The violent fugitive apprehension squad will come to collect you. My advice to you was basically stay at friends' houses, bounce around a little bit, and not really be where they know you're going to be for your own, like, you know, protection. Also, while you probably weren't home, like on Christmas when they were searching for you, you were smart. You knew if you went home, you know, like that they would have collected your ass. So you stayed away. Smart. Like I said, I gave you advice. Why? Because I believe in ending governmental corruption. I believe in exposing governmental corruption. And honestly, if you did, with your following count, you actually have the ability to expose governmental corruption if you actually wanted to. You can actually be another, not John O'Keefe, not any of the O'Keefe families, but like I believe it's James O'Keefe, like Project Veritas, that guy. You possibly could have been someone similar to that exposing corruption. But, like I know, like we know, being the same age roughly, I think you're a year older than me, we grew up watching Howard Stern. You're trying to be Howard Stern, but Howard Stern had a legal team behind him. Howard Stern knew where to push the envelope, where not to push the envelope. And even then, Howard Stern fucked up a few times, royally fucked up a few times. But Howard Stern was a shock jock. He knew where the line was. You've gone after people for, what, over 3 years now? The same people? Like, wow. Wow, 3 years. Now that's a miracle that these people haven't gone after you physically after 3 years of constant harassment. Okay, well anyways, I guess I've shot this shit long enough. Can't wait for the hearing, you know, can't wait to find out what happens. Like, you know, like, for Meredith, hopefully you get brought out of there with handcuffs. For you, hopefully you don't. But no matter what, I'm going to be watching, listening. But yeah, like, I figure you got a 50-50 chance of being charged and having your bail conditions being revoked. 50-50, I consider. And then again, like, I figure you've got a less than 50% chance of having your restraining order placed on her. And I figure she's got a above 50% chance of having her restraining order extended against you. Okay, well, hey, have a good one, everyone. Enjoy your day.